don't do me no good that, you can touch people and they get healed. And, you seem to have oil flowing and everything in front of people, but you can't walk in kindness or self-control.
Yeah, you don't have self-control or you can't forgive, It's just...
What's up, everybody?
Hey,
Welcome back to the Davis Unfiltered.
With the Davises. Unfiltered.
That was actually impressive. You don't believe me?
No, but it's okay. Hey. I love you.
Well, anyway, like she said, we the Davises.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered. And that's what you just caught.
Yeah.
But this is where we discuss everything, love, faith, all things relationships.
Yeah.
And last week we was able to get started talking about unlearning love, unlearning everything was taught about love.
How we have to renew our minds when it comes to what we learned about love, our feelings and thoughts behind love, what that looks like in a relationship, and how it should change when we come to a relationship with the Lord.
Yeah, and I feel like we couldn't have started with anything better than that. But first, before we even go forward, man, I want to say thank you and shout out to everybody for tuning in, and also who tuned in last week.
Right.
Man, hit subscribe again if that's something that really intrigued you. You want to just really go on this journey with us, on this unfiltered journey.
Right.
But I also want to say, if you were in on that first episode, you are literally a day one.
Day one.
So shout out to you. Can't do this without you.
Right.
But today we get to talk about another hot topic, right? Something that's going to involve some unlearning as well.
Yes.
So our topic today is single, not broken. What comes to mind when you hear single, not broken?
I just think about just conversations that I've had with a lot of young adult women. Honestly, we're young adult pastors, youth pastors, next gen pastors. And a lot of them feel like if they're still single at a certain age, then something must be wrong with them. Like they may be broken or they may be lacking something. So that's just automatically what I think about.
Maybe 22.
Right. But not that it's just women, but that's just what I hear the most is like, okay, something is wrong with me because there's so many men out here and, the ratio is off. There's definitely way more women than men, especially in church. And a lot of the women feel like because of that, if they're not chosen, that means they're not good enough. But yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective, but I guess that is true.
Yeah.
It made me think about first I'll ask, do you think that's just a thing in church or is that in general that the ratio is just that off or women just having more of an interest toward it?
I think that is in general, inside and outside of the church. I feel like women feel that way.
Just curious.
But no, I think in the church they just talk about it more maybe. Yeah.
Just curious. Okay. And I think in a sec we'll kind of talk maybe about where that comes from. But it made me think about, with being able to really see firsthand things in ministry and even metrics. There is a discrepancy as far as the number of women to men. But what I also find is that there are more men that's in church than we get to realize and see. You'll be surprised many conversations I have and, there's a woman like, man, where are all the men at? And stuff. And I'm like,
they're here.
They around.
Yeah.
I know plenty. It's just, but a lot of times they just may not be as involved.
Right.
Or they may not, be showing up to as many different things outside of just a normal Sunday, or midweek or things like that. But I do get to see that there is a difference, and maybe coming from maybe how men and women are wired, where women is just more interested. They're more naturally interested.
We want to get together and socialize and hang out.
Yeah. Even in going to a group.
Yeah.
Talking about feelings, talking about things, even with serving, when it comes to doing tasks and things like that.
Yeah.
But what I do find is that, so even though women get in that stuff at a quicker and higher rate, men does take longer, but I do get to see that when men finally do show up to something and they do try something out and they actually see the impact from it, the direct impact, that's when they go all in and they actually take like steps and they walk a little faster.
No, that's true. We've seen that happen plenty of times, but I don't think people really even pay attention to that. But it's true.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I think it might be because like with men, we more fixers
Right.
in our minds, with most men. And it's like, okay, I finally show up to this group. Well, I finally try this out. As soon as I see, oh man, this just helped me fix my problem.
Right.
This just fixed my issue. That advice, that was just very direct.
Now you're locked in.
We're not talking about it or all around the circle, but it's like, oh, now I'm all in.
Right.
So I don't know. I think if we could try to help the guys show up a little more, but I guess there's one issue I do want to tackle in this as well. I'll pose it as a question. Why aren't, I guess, Christian men going at Christian women at the rate that we probably think makes sense?
I personally think that it's because it's harder.
Oh, wow.
It's harder, mainly because women have a lot of Christian women have a list. They have again, you should have standards. I'm not saying don't have standards. Definitely have standards, have parameters, have all the things. But I think Christian women have somewhat of an unrealistic like expectation. Like they want their spouse when they meet them to be like leadership level, like, you know, when it comes to just everything.
You got to already be Apostle Paul.
Right. You know, and
Wow.
that's just not realistic, you know, because a lot of the times we're
That's
not there.
interesting.
You know, like we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
Granted, again, obviously you should want like a standard. You want somebody to be able to lead you who have a relationship with the Lord. Yes, all those things. But it's like, oh, he has to be this tall and he has to be this built and he has to, you know, I don't know how to cook a 3-course meal, and you know, like it's nothing wrong
And
with
you
having.
still got to be slightly edgy too.
Right. Yes, you have a little edge, a little mystery to you, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you got to be able to preach a whole sermon.
You got to be
And-
Apostle Paul, but also have some Michael B. Jordan
Right, all the things
from Creed in you.
And it's just like, okay, guys, like we all have to grow. We're going to continue to grow. And I think that's really what it is. Like, it's just a lot harder. So therefore, what we've seen is that guys will go outside of the church and try to bring a woman into the church and try to then, okay, you can, like, I like all these other things. You really like me. So let me just get you to fall in love with Jesus in hopes that this would actually work out.
And that's the thing I do see with guys. It's like many times guys fall into, especially younger guys,
Yeah.
try to make women love God.
Yeah, we can't make anybody do it.
And man, like my prayer is that we be able to bridge the gap
Right.
between the unrealistic expectations, but then also like the I like to kind of describe it with men sometimes this unhealthy mindset of leadership. I think it's like a perverted mindset of leadership where they look at that like, well, I'm trying to lead them to Christ, but now it's like in an unbiblical way that the Bible didn't even put an expectation on you to do.
Yeah.
And we look at it that way, and really what it is you trying to be God
Yeah, and I
for
think
a woman. You trying to be a Messiah, a savior.
Yeah, and that's just a level of understanding, you know, discipleship, biblical understanding, really, like, and really diving in the Word and trying to get a understanding of God's heart behind it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times many cases I've seen that it's a genuine like desire to just really be pleasing to God, but it's just super unbalanced because of lack of maturity.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Yeah. I kind of want to pose another reason why I think there's this discrepancy. From what we get to see a lot as well, it feels like a big risk when going into like a get to know you stage or so with somebody in church. And mainly for the men, it's a risk because it's like, God forbid, if you were to be texting somebody, talking with somebody or things like that, and it just end up not being a fit, end up just not being it. But now you have to worry about, is this going to in some way taint my reputation or something just because me and her didn't work out? Then you got to worry about the unwritten girl codes and, you know, the sisterhood and all of that. And now it's like, man, do I have a chance now with the next one? I don't know. I think that happens a lot in church too.
Oh, for sure. It's unfortunate.
And it keeps
but
us all single.
No, that is true. And it's super unfortunate because it just happens so no, because literally it just happens so often and it sucks.
Was that a thing in the world before you got saved, that it was like an unwritten code?
Oh, absolutely.
And all of that?
For sure. No.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing about it in the world though, like if you're dating worldly or in the like secular arena, like you're not thinking about parameters or boundaries or anything. So you're like, okay, we doing whatever. Versus in the church, what I would hope, you know, is that as believers, like we're courting or getting to know each other without experimenting, without getting ourselves into stuff. So if we're doing it holy, we have boundaries and all things like that, then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. No harm, no foul. Like nothing is wrong. Let's move on, you know?
Yeah.
But again, because in the world, that's not the case. A lot of people kind of take that same mindset. They're not renewing their mind when it comes to relationships and love.
Because
so
we
they're
texted
like,
for about a month.
This is wrong, you know?
Yeah, because we texted for about a month or so. That means I'm like permanently just
No, you
connected
get
to you.
You're getting to know somebody.
I'm only associated with somebody that talked to you, so now everybody just looking at me now like, man, that's sad. Because I think it take out where it's supposed to be like, man, we brother and sister in Christ.
Yeah.
And we want to see all each other winning.
Right. Yeah.
So
You just have to have, you know, just protecting your emotions and heart and stuff, so you're not too emotionally involved in that type of stuff. Yeah.
So no, I think that definitely helps be able to identify what some of the issue, I guess, in singleness. Again, singleness in itself is not an issue, but sometimes we just can't overlook what some of the issues that I guess sometimes make some people's singlehood just linger,
Right.
Like unnecessarily.
Right.
But you know, I think what we want people to know is like singleness is not a problem to fix. You know, it's a season to steward.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to grow. So when it comes to that idea about singleness being brokenness, where does that come from? Where does that ideology, why is that even a thing? Why is that something we have to explain?
What, singleness?
That singleness is not brokenness.
I mean, because like kind of like what I said earlier, it's just like people feel like if they're not in a relationship or they're not being chosen or picked or seen, that something is wrong with them equals I'm broken. Because
Where does that pressure comes from?
I think the world, just internal insecurities.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an internal thing, more so, honestly. Because again, like you can, like a lot of women see, or people just see it as rejection. Like it's like, okay, I feel like I'm being rejected because I'm not being chosen. I'm not being seen as a prospect to be somebody's husband or to be somebody's wife. So therefore that means again, something is wrong.
Yeah, I can see many times in some situations it comes from family as well.
No, for
you
sure.
have some single
Pressures,
women. Oh my gosh, like sometimes they're not looking forward to going home for the holidays.
Oh no,
because they're gonna run in the family that's coming like, why you ain't bring a guy back to meet us? Yeah. Are you still single? So I think sometimes it's pressure from family.
Yeah, family. I mean, family, friends, outside sources, really, outside sources, and then also again ourselves, like you know.
Yeah, and I can see that culture, and sometimes even church culture, just push like marriage equals success, or if you're single too long, something is wrong. A lot of people on social media like, man, if you have engagement photos, you arrived.
Yeah.
Like that is like the gold standard. And I guess like you said, I mean, people see being chosen as validation.
Yeah.
If you're not posting the couples photos, then it's just like, man, you losing somehow in life.
Yeah.
And it's not true.
I mean, yeah, a lot of people just look at, you know, marriage as like that is the main goal in life, is to let me get myself together for marriage.
Yeah.
And it's no, we have to get ourselves together to be more Christ-like.
Right. Oh, that's
but
good.
that's just really,
that's good.
Again, like that's just the world we live in, you know?
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people desire to have a companion and to do life with someone. So therefore, if it's not happening, then again, something's wrong with me.
And one thing I see sometime on like some other like platforms or some content is sometimes you'll see, you know, some Christians, some people having like the conversation of that sometimes the church kind of like plays a big part in that narrative. It overemphasizes, as if like Mary equals more anointed or Mary equals more qualified.
I think,
and some people really take a lot of offense with that, in which I can see both sides. I can see where there's some churches like, hey, I'd rather you be married for certain roles,
right? And I think
positions.
that's really what it is.
But I do see on some people's side where it's just like, man, you can be single and still be
right.
a leader at something and still be anointed. So I don't know. I feel like there's definitely two extreme opposite ends of the spectrum that maybe that there's some misunderstanding. I don't know if you got any thoughts on that.
Yeah, like I definitely think that because in ministry a lot of the times you see like the leaders or the pastors, they're couples. And a lot of people equate that, okay, so to be a leader, to be a pastor, I have to be married.
Right.
And again, that's where that thought comes from, where it's just like, okay, well, you arrive when you get married, you get used when you get married, you get seen as an example when you get married, which is not necessarily completely true.
Yeah.
Because you can still lead and be thriving small group leader as a single or things like that. But I think it's just a lot of stability when it comes to leadership when there's two. You get to hold each other accountable.
It's built-in accountability.
Built-in accountability, right? So that's a safety.
When you marry, it's like you kind of already know there's a certain testing.
Right.
That
a person has gone through. Like there should be a certain level of maturity because of marriage.
Yeah.
Right. Certain like that built-in accountability.
And you said it. You get the 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
You get two people, like teaming up for one role. That's you get a bang for your buck.
Yeah. So again, I think that's why people look at it as like you just all right, well I arrive when I'm, married, but I've definitely seen a lot of single leaders,
But there's some people, if you, that is single, and if you really locked in,
right,
and you don't have no other responsibilities, no other people that you're responsible for, you know what I mean?
It's possible for sure.
Yeah. So I guess it just depends on like the mindset, because you can have somebody that's single, and they're really trying to do 1 Corinthians 7, where hey, while I'm unmarried, I'm giving everything I got to serving the Lord. I'm the first person there when the door's open.
Right,
and then you got some married people that treats it like, well, I'm married now. I ain't got time for all that.
No more, but no. Who said that?
Because it be some married people is like, well, they act as if like, well, that was the goal. I got it.
Right, now I'm here, so okay, I'll see you
all that serving stuff.
Every other Sunday. But that's unfortunate, but that's just what happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some unpopular truth, we did that on our last episode.
Yeah.
And I think there's some more unpopular truth when it comes to this. Singleness is not punishment.
Right.
That's something. It's preparation.
For sure. I know you're moving on, but listen, I wish more people would realize that like singlehood is like great. Like you get to really like you see things that you need to work on and you can actually work on them. Like you don't have to feel like, okay, now I have to be under this microscope. Like this person is telling me every day, hey, you didn't get better with this, or hey, like you need to work on this. So you can work at your pace with the Lord, with your own space, like, And so again, like it's really to get you to a place of wholeness in Christ, not to get you prepared to be somebody's husband or wife. Will that come? Yes. Is that included? Absolutely. Yeah. But it's not the end goal. It's to be better, you know?
Another unpopular truth is, if you don't know who you are while single, you will lose yourself in a relationship.
Yeah.
And
you'll get, lost in the role of whatever that title is, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, wife, husband, you get lost in that. You're like, okay, because of this title, I have to act this way. But it's like, okay, no, who did God call you to be in with these different roles in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we'll do now, we'll go to some actual keys for singlehood. We gonna call it side notes for singlehood. You like that?
I guess.
That was clever.
Catchy a little bit.
It's catchy a little bit.
Just
bars. Say it. Just
I wouldn't say
it.
bars. It's just a little, side notes for singlehood.
Yeah, it's just some side notes for singlehood.
That's right.
You got to say it right, though.
Okay, what?
Side notes for singlehood.
Side notes for singlehood.
Side notes for singles. Number 1, leave the worldly perspectives and mindsets behind. So we touched on that a little bit, but let's just stop bringing the way that we used to think about relationships into our walk with God, into church.
Yeah.
I think about stuff like the idea about soulmates, for example.
Yeah.
That is not kingdom.
Yeah.
Once you get married, now that's your soulmate.
You're so funny. You mean like just the belief of how some people think that, hey, there's this one person out there
Just
for me
running around
that God specifically created
just searching
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not God. No. Anybody that is walking in spiritual maturity like you, believe in the same fruit of the spirit, believes in the same I guess the same ideology about love, which is from a Christian perspective. Y'all walking in the same lane of life. They all could be the one. You know what I mean? And it's up to us on finding out, how fruitful that relationship could be.
Yeah.
But God didn't just put some specific person they running around and we have to find them. That's our soulmate.
Oh, that would be, imagine how long that would take.
Right.
That is crazy.
That's crazy
Anyway,
work.
go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, now I know he stopped pulling them out of our rib now, but
Right.
yeah. But another one I think about is what? Just laugh. You say it's funny. Yeah.
Stop.
Another one I thought about is like zodiac signs.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's like, can you imagine like a Christian? They're just like, oh no, his birthday in June. So I
can't be
know we
together.
ain't gonna
No,
because
I
I
don't-
can't match up with him. Because
Because
you
what?
think
Like,
everybody else
my
born within the first
personality,
couple weeks of June got
No.
the same exact personality?
no, it's my personality is submitted to the Lord. Okay? Because absolutely not. Nah, but a lot of people really lean in on that and feel that
Yeah.
is just the way to choose their person. But
Right.
it's not. It's a lie from the enemy and it's very demonic.
And at that point, like, what is the Bible for? It's
Right.
just like we all trying to strive for the same fruit of the spirit.
Exactly.
No matter when you was born.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
anyway, but yeah, so we just have to renew our mind about relationships, renew
Yeah.
our mind about even like sex, renew our minds about all of that.
Everything.
You have that time as a single to do so.
Yeah.
I even think about just even your view on maturity and immaturity, right?
Listen, that's real.
Yeah.
Like the older I've gotten, the more I've realized like people really don't realize sometimes if they're immature or their thought process are immature. Until
One example I know that you said before, I was like, man, that's crazy.
What?
Where it's like some women look at something like, oh, he laughs so much.
Oh,
He's so
yes.
immature.
Yes.
And then it was like, it'd be women I've heard you like correct and just be like, well, you don't think that he just might have the joy of the Lord?
Yeah.
What's actually on him laughing? Don't the Bible say it's good like medicine?
yes, and
No,
that's
if
so,
anything, you just too serious.
no, right.
I was like, dang.
I do. I actually have to say that often to women but that's also something I had to learn, because that's kind of how I was. It happened to us, when we were dating. People would say, hey, he just played too much. He laughed too much. And I'm just like, and then once I actually got to know you, realizing that a part of your testimony is you overcame anger, like the Lord was able to like break that bondage off of you and you truly just have joy. And I was like, wow, like, that's powerful, not looking at it as immaturity, but as freedom, And I think, again, that's renewing our minds of what we think maturity and immaturity. Why does someone laughing equal immaturity?
Yeah.
But again,
I even think one example I know always come to my mind is like, man, God forbid if somebody play video games.
oh, we don't even gonna get on that.
Oh my goodness.
That is just
And I used to be like, man, you know how many guys I got to see grow into spiritually mature men, all from discipleship and talking about the word and stuff on the video game?
The only thing with the video games that I would say is just like, the only thing that I give people is just balance.
Yeah.
Like, we're not saying spend your whole life, don't get a job and just be on a video game. Like,
Right.
but I think that's what a lot of people
go
think
to.
about. They directly
You
go
would
to,
know life.
you just play video games all day. No, like, but if it's a hobby, it's a hobby and it's fine. And like you said, I've seen over the years, you disciple so many young men, like, playing on the game and having fruitful conversations, like leading people to Christ over the game, like that. God can use anything.
And I see some guys fall into this as well about just a bad mindset about maturity and immaturity. I see in the church where it's just, man, well, if a woman just know how to say a bunch of spiritual words, oh my gosh, the deepest of prayers, and we automatically think like, oh man, that is the most like mature person ever. And then don't look at anything that's practical in their life that is going to go towards being a wife one day or so. It's like, man, as long as you got a wife that know how to pray,
Right.
you get what I'm saying?
And wants to pray.
Right.
And prays for you.
Other than that,
you know?
the bigger words or smaller words in prayer does not do you any more good as a husband
That is true. These are facts.
than if they don't got some life maturity about things.
Or can't actually like walk the word out.
Yeah.
But they can pray.
Right.
I mean, that's.
I want my wife to have. I want my wife to have the fruit of the
You
spirit.
gotta be able to,
along with the gifts of the spirit.
Right? No, that part. You say that all the time.
Yeah.
We talk to the leaders all the time about that.
Yeah. It don't do me no good that you can touch people and they get healed, and you seem to have oil flowing and everything in front of people, but you can't walk in kindness or self-control.
Yeah, you don't have self-control, or you can't forgive. Like it's just
man. But yeah, so and that stuff is not based on age. It's not based on personality or anything.
Yeah.
But number two, drop the unrealistic expectations. That's another side note for singles. Drop the unrealistic expectations. You alluded to it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So the way I see it, guys, man, we got to stop expecting this finished product all the time, a woman, and be willing to earn a woman's heart. Sometimes that's a part of when the Bible talk about loving your wife like Christ loved the church and everything, we really don't talk much about the very next verse where it talks about in washing of the word. And sometimes it's just like, man, again, I'm not saying trying to make a woman love God, but sometimes along the process, you may have somebody, they just being healed from certain things. They're growing in certain areas, and you just might be that person on just you pushing them to grow into the woman that they called to be. And you might not just automatically, get their heart just that easily. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
On the drop of a dime of charm. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you see that person worth it, that's all right. And I think women though have to get out of fantasy land. I think we let the Pinterest board rule judgment sometimes. I don't know.
This is true. I think just women. Yeah, I think rom-coms mess us up. And these love story books, because
The Notebook.
I'm not talking about that movie, but
my bad.
I was just saying books, novels, people, growing up. I remember a lot of me and my peers reading books about, love stories, falling in love and stuff. So again, our mind's okay, we need to have this man who can do all of these things and have these super high standards for a man. But it's just God didn't create every man the same. Some might have different strengths or different weaknesses, but it's being realistic of what you actually need and not what you want. I think a lot of people, this is just what I want and what would look good, what other people would think would look good. But it's what do you actually need based off of what you lack in, what you have challenges with? You need someone who has strengths in those areas.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't know. We just look at just the stuff that don't even matter, how tall he is, and
it's we need to prioritize the essentials.
Yeah.
Over the bonuses. Right.
But again, if you're not mature, then you don't realize that what essentials are.
Right. Right. So I'm also hearing you can have standards, but just without being superficial.
Yeah.
Making sure the standards is not anything that's just, irrelevant.
Yeah, it's one thing to saying okay, I want a kind man, or I don't want someone who is disrespectful with how they talk to women or something. That's not superficial. That's important, because how is he going to talk to you or your potential children, or just
So we just got to stop looking for stop looking for the type that we want and prioritize the type that we need.
Absolutely.
That's man.
Yeah.
That's one thing we run into. But
if we don't know ourselves, though, we wouldn't know what we need. That's
true.
The crazy part. That's why you can't. That's why you have to fully be whole in yourself and know yourself. Because again, if you don't know yourself, you don't really know what you need.
Yeah. This might shake some living rooms if anybody's watching, or if anybody's watching in the car or anything like that. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if I feel all that great. No, I ain't gonna say it that way. I don't know if Christians should really have a type.
Tell me more.
I think that can be superficial. And I don't think that there's much of
You mean
godliness.
physically or just, what do you mean?
I guess more so physically, stuff that's like aesthetic.
Gotcha.
I don't see a bunch of like godliness that's rooted in having a type.
This is
A
true.
lot of times I think that's wired by lust,
Fantasy.
fantasy. Man, I sometimes with some,
Opinions of others too.
yeah, opinions of
Are
others.
we an
Some people
Instagram
want
couple? We
to,
look
yeah.
cute together.
Some
Like,
people want a social media wife or
yeah.
social media husband. Somebody think is gonna make them look good.
Right.
They want somebody that everybody else is gonna looks at them and really, really wants.
Yeah.
So there's some pride in that, insecurity, and if I'm just being honest, sometimes I think depending on how extreme somebody is or how I guess 10 toes down somebody is about a type, I think sometimes it's stuff like porn that really does a number
Yeah.
on just like your mind when it comes to that. Whereas like you only see people through the lenses of like what you see on camera.
Yeah.
That's like 100% fabricated.
Right.
And me personally, yeah, it's like I can't see that being. I feel like that's another worldly thing that just needs like mind renewal.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's, again, all rooted in things that are not of
I
God.
only like somebody that's this shade.
Yeah. And why? It's
got
because
this
if
kind of
that's what
hair,
you saw and that you got a feeling from what you saw. And again, none of those things are
Yeah.
Christ-like. They're none of those emotions, those feelings, those desires come from God.
Let's just be real. A lot of times people don't realize, but they fall into stuff like colorism.
That's true.
You like this, you associate this shade as better than this shade, and whether that's dark, whether that's light, sometimes it's that, and sometimes what we find as well, we see in situations where with insecurity, people don't always like exactly how they look,
Yeah.
so it affects or it influences what they might want. And because I don't really want my kids to look like me.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people who just, for an example, who's dark skinned and they don't want to be with another person that's dark skinned because they want their kids lighter skin. Again, that I think that's more so rooted in,
And that's
for
stuff that
sure,
needs freedom.
insecurity. But yes, it definitely needs freedom. Some some deliverance there and just really some self reflection. Like, okay, Lord, help me figure out why this is such a desire of mine. Like, where did this come from? Like, what situation, what event, what word was spoken over me to make me believe that this is greater than the next, or I'm not, my skin tone or whatever isn't.
Lay your types at the altar.
For sure, yeah.
Because sometimes that can be keeping people single longer than probably necessary. And
we're not saying don't be attracted to them, because that's always the thing. Like, oh, you say we gotta be with somebody I'm not attracted to.
Explain that all the time.
But no, like, this is common. Like, a lot of people say, like, hey, you don't want me to be with somebody I'm not attracted to. Like, no, we want you to be attracted, but just lay your previous preferences at the altar.
Yeah, all the crazy preferences.
If you've been renewing your mind, you shouldn't even want that same type of person, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, a difference between 5'11" and 6'2" doesn't make somebody a better husband.
That's true.
Yeah. We'll breeze through this one. Number 3, take advantage of your time single.
Yeah.
So just saying, focus on your growth and development, serve, learn more of yourself, like you just mentioned, and your purpose.
Yeah.
Get as much wisdom as you can. Mentorship. You can be addressing your past and all of your baggage that you will probably be bringing to somebody while single. Get counseling.
Oh, yes, please.
You know what I mean?
Counseling in Jesus.
Yes. Invest in a couple that has fruit that you want one day. Like
that part, I think a lot of people really don't look at like how powerful that is. Like, really, like, serving or investing in or just loving up on and being there for a couple when you're in your single.
Yeah.
There's so much you can learn, so much the Lord can teach you in that.
Boy, I was on that.
Listen, same. Like, both of us.
What you need. Yeah.
Right. Let me,
I invest in that. It made me think about one time we were dating. It was like a Valentine's Day. Instead of us trying to be all like super cute, going to Valentine's Day, our church was doing something for married couples, just having like a nice, just
Dinner.
Upscale dinner type night.
Really nice.
And we was like, man, you know what? We don't spend Valentine's Day going to serve at that. I mean, I ain't never been a waiter in my life.
Me neither. I
Man,
can't
I'm
even
back there
remember
getting lemonades
everybody's
and
drinks. I said, who
all
said
that.
what?
Boy, walking around, is there anything you need? And
Yeah.
I was so out of my element.
Same.
But that was something, man, I felt like, yo, I had so much fun doing that.
Yep. It was very fun seeing everybody excited and dating each other. Like, it was really cool.
Yeah, that was an investment. But number 4, identify the one before making them the one.
Yeah.
Identifying the one before you make them the one. So that's just like, watch their life,
Yeah.
how they
See their
serve,
fruit. Yeah.
what type of friend are they,
Patterns. Yes.
patterns, who they hang with.
Right.
I remember, man, I was slow cooking with you. You ain't even realize it.
So funny.
Remember, so I met you, started inviting you to stuff, and I'm just watching. Let me see how she act in social settings. Let me see what she talk about. Let me see who she hang with, who she ride with. Come in here. I'm looking at all that before making some sort of move. But yeah, it's like you want to look for like strong qualities and principles. Even consult maybe your pastor or spiritual leadership in your life. See if they have pastoring or spiritual leadership in their life.
That is so important because again, like you don't want anyone who's just out here just living off their emotions and how they personally feel. Like know that they're submitted to leadership, because when they're submitted to leadership, that means they're submitted to leadership under God.
Yeah.
And so that means they have guidance.
Yeah.
Because without guidance, child,
dating
be crazy.
Last 2, and I think the last one though is going to be another living room shaker. But number 5, be mindful and intentional of your presentation.
Yes. Please don't just be walking around looking crazy.
Yeah.
It matters.
Look
Carry
decent.
yourself well, not for others, but for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but look good. Like, come looking your best.
Take care of your hygiene.
Whenever you write, whenever you're walking out the door, like, have breath mints, you know? Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, wear some deodorant.
Yes.
If you're going to be lifting your hands in worship, things like that. Yeah. Iron your shirts.
Yes.
Fellas, iron your shirt.
Yeah.
Man. But that was kind of self-explanatory, but I feel like we still gotta put out. But this last one. Know your lane or your lead.
Oh, Lord.
And be okay with it.
Yes.
That means self-awareness.
Yes.
So yes, even though we all are Christians, we love God, that does not mean everybody is in your lane, and it don't mean everybody is your lead.
That's true.
And that's okay. Mm-hmm. I believe there's somebody for everybody.
But not a soulmate though, but just everybody.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that. But I think that's something that has to get said, because we sometimes get into this thing of, well, since we all of God and we all fearfully and wonderfully made.
Right.
It's true, but it does not mean that everybody is going to think you are attractive for them, or everybody's going to think you are for them.
Right.
You get what I mean? And we find that some people, they may try to swing high for certain things that's just like, nah, that's not really realistic.
Yeah.
We see many young adult women, all of them want the football players that's coming to church.
Yeah, the basketball players, football players.
Who can have anybody that they probably want, if just going by just, I guess, just off the outer appearance alone, and aesthetic alone. You get what I mean? Or you just have some guys who are just like, you know, it's real. Like, you ain't got as much swag. You ain't got as much drip. You get what I mean? And that's all right.
Yeah.
You might need a little help in that area. We was talking about keep yourself up.
Yeah.
But then going after who might be women that we call universally attractive.
Yeah.
Meaning like everybody,
most people would find them attractive. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I just think that's something like we gotta all like
have
really
an
take
understanding
consideration.
on,
and have some self-awareness, not being too much pride or, you know, trying to be overly spiritual about that's just the real. You know, I have conversations with some guys where I have to just kind of be honest with them on just like, look, man, you going after this social media, you know, 9 or 10 or something like that, and that's more so what you focused on. and you may not even have the personality or so. Like some guys are just, you're not smooth like that. Yeah. That's not your person. That's okay. And you're going to find yourself trying to be something you're not in order to keep this person.
Right. And then you're going to be stressed all the time and not walking in purpose because you're trying to be what you think they want.
Right. Versus you having somebody that's in your lead, in your lane.
You can be yourself.
You can be yourself.
Yes.
You can be goofy. You can be awkward. You can be silly. You get what I mean?
And you can walk secure in that relationship. You should be secure anyway in Christ. But you know, you have security in the relationship because you know that this is not like far-fetched for you to be in.
And I think there's a lot of women, you got to stop lying to each other.
I think we just try to be encouraging to where we're being dishonest, where it's just like, no, like he's probably not going to look at you in that way and that's okay. But there's somebody who does.
Yeah.
And I think it's just hard because you don't want to hurt your friends' feelings. You don't want to come off to them as you're being prideful or judgmental, but we just have to be honest with each other because what is that doing? You're just, you're creating like unrealistic expectations for them. And honestly, like you're going to hurt them in the long run, you know? So just be honest with your friends, you know? So.
Yeah. No, thanks for saying that. That honesty, that's real friendship.
Yeah. That's love. Not letting them embarrass themselves.
Yeah. But that's what we have for this episode. And I hope that this was helpful.
Yes.
For someone out there who is single, you may have felt that brokenness.
Yeah.
Or may have gotten the comments that
something's wrong with you.
Yeah, something's wrong with you.
There is nothing wrong with you.
And that is a lie.
God is just preparing you and just take advantage of your singlehood. Like, guys, listen, it is the best. It's what you make it, honestly. If you look at it like doom and gloom, that's what it's going to feel like. But if you look at it as this is just me getting to be my best self, then that's what it will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. It's Davis Unfiltered. Hit that subscribe button. If this episode blessed you, we'll see you at the next one.
Bye.
Skirt.